Hello to all of our viewers, listeners, and supporters. Welcome to another episode of Connected, the podcast where we discuss all things mental health, recovery, employment, and stories. I'm your host, Donald. Today's episode is all about finding hope after a mental health crisis and rediscovering purpose along the way. Our special guest's journey is nothing short of inspiring. After being misdiagnosed, she spent time intermittently in the hospital that led her through a few trials and tribulations where she received the proper care and diagnosis. She then continued her healing through programs like Hope House and Connections House. During her time at Connections House, she was able to land a transitional employment position at the Peer Connection Center. Step by step, she rebuilt her life, gaining vocational skills, community, and confidence. Lastly, she graduated from Opportunity Junction, where she trained to become an administrative assistant. Today, she's here to share her story, one of courage, recovery, and a reminder that no matter where you are, there is always hope. It doesn't stop here. Please welcome Laura. Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. So, to start off, I want to ask you about the time you were misdiagnosed and being in and out of the hospital. What was your journey looking like from, being in the hospital, in and out to where you are now?
So, before I went to the hospital, I was actually sexually assaulted at school in the freshman year in high school.
Oh, wow.
And so it happened the last day of my freshman year. And I didn't want to go to school because another guy had told me that another guy was going to rape me. And so I didn't want to go to school, and I told my mom I don't want to go to school. And she thought I was being rebellious, teenager, didn't want to go to school. So she made me go to school. And after that, during the summer, I went to LA with my cousin and my aunt and her family. And then they noticed that I wasn't eating, I wasn't taking a shower, I was going through a whole bunch of stuff. And then the guys that told me that a specific guy was going to sexually assault me on the last day of class, he was stalking me with one of his friends. And so because they were slick, they thought that it was all in my head. So they were hiding, and they were trying to convince me they were trying to convince me also that I was in my head. And so because I was misunderstood, I didn't speak up about the abuse. I didn't speak up about being stalked. They misdiagnosed me with schizophrenia. And so once they misdiagnosed me with schizophrenia, they gave me some pills, but the pills obviously weren't working because that wasn't my correct diagnosis. And for a long time, they were just like giving me pills for that, and I just wasn't feeling any better because it wasn't helpful. And they gave me so they were giving me pills for that. And then finally I got in my early 20s, or not in my early 20s, my late 20s, and I went to Hope House after going to the hospital for 2 weeks. And there I opened up about how the medication was making me feel and everything like that. And they said, okay, you don't have schizophrenia, you have schizoaffective. And then I was with anxiety and depression. So then okay, so they changed my meds around, and it was helping. And then the guys finally left. They left me alone, they stopped stalking me. And I later find out that my stepdad, my mom's ex-husband, was also a part of the guys who sexually assaulted me and the guys who were following me, stalking me. So that didn't come to light until, well, it's not fully coming to light still now, but I'm still trying to open up about what really happened in therapy because I haven't had a therapy for my PTSD yet. So it took me a long time to be able to be aware of myself and be aware that I do have something, but it's not schizophrenia. So it took a long time for them to figure that out.
Oh, wow. Oh, first of all, thank you so much for sharing your story. It takes a lot of courage to talk about a subject matter like that. I also want to tell you and anybody else watching that I'm also a victim and a survivor of sexual abuse myself. And so, anybody that goes through something like that, it takes a while to recover and heal from something like that. But I also want anybody that's watching this that it is possible, and we're both living proof of that. So, I just want to ask an offhanded question. Was there any like happy times that you've experienced during your life? Was there a happy childhood memory?
I remember my dad used to take me to this Mexican place. We lived in a small town called Fort Bragg,
Mm.
and he would take me to this Mexican place called Los Gallitos, which means the roosters. And he would buy me fish tacos, which was my favorite when I was little.
Oh wow, yeah, that's wonderful. Absolutely incredible. So you moved through several stages of support from Hope House to Connections House and beyond. What moments or experiences during that time helped you start believing that recovery was possible?
Once I opened up at Hope House, after the last time I went to the hospital, I went to Hope House and I opened up about how the medication was making me feel, all the symptoms that I was having, and once they give me that medication that was actually helpful, that's when I was like, okay, this is the grass is greener on the other side. I just had to stick out and do it, stick it out for the ride, even though it was hell. Because I was dealing with the guys at school who were stalking me, bullying me. I even got sexually assaulted, and I had to switch schools. And then I was dealing with my stepdad emotionally abusing me and my mom and my brother. And so I was dealing with hell at home and at school.
Mm. Uh, wow, Laura, the more you're talking about this, I'm kind of reverting back to like areas of my own life. Yeah, that's this is a really powerful story, and I just want you to know that. And yeah, all of that is amazing, but you're seeing that there is life at the end of the tunnel, and hope is possible. And it sounds like the programs you participated in offered both skills and community. How important was that sense of connection in your healing process?
Well, when I first came to Connections House, for instance, I was still struggling kind of with my medication, trying to get it exactly right so it would be helpful for me. And I knew that I wanted more for myself. I didn't just want to be on SSI. I didn't want to be the victim. I didn't want to become an abuser, even though I was abused. I wanted to take responsibility for my own life, and I wanted to get a sense of power to me for like holding the remote or having the bull by the head and controlling it. So I wanted to do something for myself. And I said, okay, I'm better with my medication now. Now I want to find a job. So I was persistent and persistent for months after I became a member here until finally I got into transitional employment. And then once I got in transitional employment, I was still applying for Opportunity Junction for the administrative training program. And so while I was working at the T position, I got accepted to the administrative career training program at Opportunity Junction. And so I did that training. It was about 12 weeks. I heard them say a lot, this is going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. I would hear it all the time, like every day. Even the process of getting accepted. I had to do an interview. I had to reapply because they were rejecting me. I had to reapply because I felt like they were judging me based on what I was telling them about my mental health, because I opened up and I told them that I have something and I'm taking medication for it. I'm stable right now. And I kind of feel like they kind of didn't believe in me because I had a mental health issue. But once I proved myself, and it was a piece of cake, that 12 weeks of training, it was a piece of cake. And I actually enjoyed doing it. And that's something that I wanted to do in my job, in a job career wise, because that's something I like to do. Another thing that I like to do is work as a behavior technician, helping other people who have like a mental health disability like myself, whether they were born with it or whatever the case may have been. It's not their fault. So I just want to be hope and inspire others to advocate for themselves, especially when they're not being, the medication is not helping them, to speak up. Because if you don't speak up, they're just going to give you medication like a little animal, and it's not going to be helpful for you. So what benefit is that?
Wow, that is amazing. Speaking of transitional employment, I'm glad we have that program because I actually went through that program myself for 9 months. It's amazing, and you learn so much. But you went from transitional employment to Opportunity Junction, and you graduated. First of all, big ups to you for that.
Thank you.
That is incredible. You went from rebuilding your mental health to developing professional skills through transitional employment and all that stuff that we just mentioned. How did learning and working again impact your confidence and sense of purpose?
It gave me a lot of confidence and a sense of purpose, because I was doing something that I love. And I feel like when you're doing something that you love, you don't really feel like you're working. And I feel like that should be everyone's goal. If they're working in an environment where they don't want to go, and they're moody all the time because they don't want to be there, then they probably shouldn't have that job.
Yeah, most deaf. Facts, Laura. So all the stuff that you've gone through in your teens, and it kind of spilled over in your 20s. So what message would you share with someone who feels stuck or hopeless right now?
The message that I would give to someone who feels stuck or hopeless right now is to really, really advocate for yourself. And if you're advocating for yourself, and your psychiatrist is not listening to you or doing something to help you, then you probably need to get a different psychiatrist.
Very much so. I'm sure a lot of people, mental health is a process. You got to find something that sticks, and a team that's going to help you. It's not a one size fits all type of deal. It's daily work. So, in saying that, what strategies or practices help you maintain your mental wellness today, especially when old challenges or triggers come up?
The strategies or practices that help me maintain my mental wellness today is hygiene, taking my meds, obviously, journaling, drawing, writing songs, writing poems, reading. Sometimes just taking a nap and listening to music is really helpful. It gives you peace.
Ooh, I've been wanting to get into poetry writing actually. So you're on the money there. We might have to talk sometime for sure. Now that you've accomplished so much on your recovery journey, what's next for you, personally or professionally or both? And how do you hope to continue inspiring others?
Personally, I actually wrote a song with two of my friends. And so I might write some more songs, either by myself or with one of my friends, because they're no longer friends. We were all friends at one point, but now they're no longer friends. So I kind of have to divide myself and see who's willing to write a song with me, and see, go from there. And professionally, I'm still looking to improve my typing skills. I want to gain at least I'm right like I'm a little bit less than a 30 words per minute right now, and my goal is to be at least 35 words per minute. And I also hope to find another job, either in the behavior technician field or administrative assistant, receptionist, admin type of job. And I would like to continue to inspire others to not sleep on yourself, because you only have so much time in this world. And just saying, oh, well, I have a mental illness, or I went through this and that, so I need to be taken care of and treated differently. Like, no, you have to earn whatever you get in life. Whatever you give is what you get. So I'd really advise people to not sleep on themselves, to really take their life seriously. The earlier the better, and it doesn't matter how old you are. You can start right now and start living your life for you, because if you're just gonna be settling for less, you're gonna be living an unhappy life and feeling sorry for yourself all the time.
Wow. Wise words, wise words. First of all, once again, thank you so, so, so much for sharing your story with us on this podcast. We inspire people every single day, and your story is no short of inspirational and powerful and amazing. And I just want you to know that. First of all, I just want to say thank you to our viewers for watching this episode. And we hope that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and stay positive. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.